Alrighty. Okay, so go ahead and set up shop here for a minute, and we can hop right to it. Okay, so good afternoon, good morning, good evening. This is DSP News, the unreliable ones. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the newsroom and welcome to the Goutopia News Network, your unreliable source for DSP News. This is the Snort Report brought to you by SnortBucks Coffee Company, the best beverage company ever. Let's go. All right, hopefully you guys are all doing well. Another day, another DSP situation to be stamped out. And this one right here actually is very familiar to a broadcast that should have already been out at this point. But DSP basically decides to speak on, or give his hot take, I should say, on giving large amounts of money to streamers like him, which is insane because he's going to say something contradictory as he usually does, because you know he's always been hell-bent on going after other people that are in his lane and trying to say how he's more of the average man, where these people are just shysters, con artists, or they don't really believe in what they do. And yet at the same time, you shouldn't support them, but you support him, while also at the same time saying that he's just as good as they are, if not better, and he's not appreciated, he's not looked at or held in high esteem as they are. Jesus Christ, pick a lane and stick in it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and transition over to one of my favorite segments. Hopefully one of your favorite segments. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my TED Talk. So, Dark Side Phil speaking on content creators getting money, or people giving money to content creators, large amounts of money, I should say. Give your money to people. Well, do what you want. It's your money, first of all, foremost. If you give it to a lol cow, I'm gonna have to call you a dent. But it's your money. Do what you want with it. But I would say give your money to people, to someone who you feel like who's earned it, honestly. And DSP has tried to preach that, but he doesn't actually believe in it, because he believes just by him existing, he's earned your money. But that's where the real value comes into it. You should give your money to people who you appreciate what they do, right? And whatever value that you have placed on their content, not whatever value that they want you to place on their content. That's another thing too he seems to get confused about. No one's owed anything, you know what I'm saying, at all. You know, when you step on any platform, whether YouTube, Twitch, Kick, wherever you're streaming at or wherever you're putting content on, no one's obligated to support you outside of a view, maybe a comment, and that's pretty much it. You know, or a like or a dislike and keep it pushing. No one owes anybody anything outside of that. If people want to go, in DSP's terminology, they want to go that extra step, that should be on them. That should be a choice that they have made, not one that they should have been coerced into or convinced into doing, or, you know what I'm saying, conned into doing, so on and so forth. And that's something that DSP has never figured out, because he doesn't want to. He has too much riding on people supporting him, that if he doesn't get it, he loses that validation. Maybe that's the term I should be using for. He has so much riding on people giving him money, that it validates him in a way that he can't really get any other way. People don't take him seriously. People don't trust him. People don't like him. He'll never be mainstream. He'll never be respected. He'll never be looked at as an older statesman. So the only thing he can do is pretty much the lowest common denominator, is convincing people to give him money. And that right there gives him the facade that people like him, people value him, and if they didn't, why would they give him their hard-earned money? Of course, if you're mentally or physically disabled and you collect, you know what I'm saying, disability or SSI or whatever the case may be, that might be your only other way of actually being able to support him, because you can't really do much of anything else. So, yet again, how much value do you really put on that money that you're getting? If it's people who are on some type of subsidy or some type of government aid, or some type of government funding to allow you to have it. The days of people like Brightside Viking having a good job, or even having a good career, and then losing it for whatever happened on that shit. But someone having a really good job or career, and we're giving you upwards of $100,000 and won over the span of a year or even a couple years. Those days are gone. Yeah, I understand there's only iced coffee. We laugh at that. Iron Chef Sakai definitely isn't hitting those type of numbers. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, he's in an interesting situation where things are about to teeter out. And even the few people who come out of the woodworks and throw $1,000 or $1,800 at him or whatever. Oh, I've watched you for so many years, so here's this much money to show value on it. Most of those people don't stick around. And for good reason, to be honest with you. So, something to think about. Anywho, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Let's go ahead and move over and see what we're actually working with and proceed positively in set content. Okay, let's go ahead and set our scene up. And let's see, video in question. I think this is it right here. All right. Cool. All right, big ups to Raw Phil and also big ups to Diggs. And let's go ahead and give our official title here. So where we at? Okay, here we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, big ups to Raw Phil. And like I said, for Diggs for cutting this up. Dark Side Phil speaks on giving large amounts of money to streamers like him. This is from June 16th of 2025, year of the snake and whatnot, because that's a thing. And let's put that up there. And here we go.
Jay Kuma says, why don't I review alcohol? Well, it's like I said, I have wanted to do that. I brought that up. I said, hey.
Yes, have an alcoholic review alcohol. That's a good idea. Yeah, that's a fantastic idea. That's a fantastic idea. Have an alcoholic indulge in something that's destroying him, his way of life, and the people who depend on him. Being most of you dents. Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a real good idea. But I'm here for it.
Instead of doing like a DSP Tries It food review, we could do, you know, food or liquor, but you guys got to tell me what kind of stuff. Like, should I compare a certain kind of beers against each other? Should I get wine? Should I, you know, but no one ever follows through. Everyone says, oh, maybe you should do it. And I'm like, I consider it, you know, but then no one ever says nothing.
But see, there's a reason for that. I think in one way, shape, or form, it's because DSP is a scam artist and he'll try to figure out a way to maneuver or switch up or do a bait and switch on shit. He's good for that. Oh, I'll go to my local liquor store and, you know, I wanted to do this, and this, but I couldn't. Something against their policy says I couldn't do that. Or I couldn't go to my local liquor store early enough to get it because me and Kat had errands to run or whatever. You can't trust him with anything. You know what I'm saying? He's done so many bait and switches with DSP Tries It with just the fast food bullshit. You really gonna trust this ass clown with liquor? Especially if you start getting into the name brand pricey shit. And then he would have probably drinking a quarter of it before you guys even get to it. And then in less than a month, it's gone. You know what I mean? So it's bad enough, though, too, that he wants you to contribute to getting up to the DSP Tries It. He wants you to spend money during the DSP Tries It. Then he's going to want to fleece you guys for shots of the set alcohol you guys already paid for. That's fucking insane, bro. Nah, not at all. Don't ever fucking do that shit. I'm sure it's going to eventually happen, but I wouldn't do it. That shit's fucking stupid. But the whole concept of DSP Tries It's dumb, or at least the way he's doing it. Like I said, it's a nice little con job at the moment, but I don't see it lasting too much longer. Eventually people will wise up. Either that or he gets really sick, whichever comes first.
So we don't do it. You know, I can't do it myself because I don't know anything about it. I'm not really a...
You don't know anything about what? You don't know anything about liquor? You go to your fucking liquor store for almost every event and or marathon that you have, and you've admitted to walking around looking for shit. So how the fuck are you going to tell me that you don't know anything about liquor or alcohol? And you're an alcoholic. And you're going to tell us you don't know anything about liquor or alcohol? All right, then. Retardation starting to get peak at this point. Holy shit.
Liquor aficionado, you know?
And then, here's the crazy part. This guy goes to Total Wine, right? If any of you guys have been in a Total Wine, usually when you walk through the door, there's either a stand or it's at their like customer service desk, or it's like around it, I should say. They have these different guides that you can just pick up, right? Like it's a guide on beer, like the different beers of the world. different wines of the world, stuff like that. I got a few of them things and whatnot, and they're free, and you can just, and it's a nice way of kind of educating yourself and figuring out how to get new stuff or whatever. This ass clown has probably walked in and out of there multiple times in a week and never thought about doing so. That's insane to me. That's fucking crazy. You know what I'm saying? And here's the thing, if he was walking into like an ABC or his local grocery store or one of the corner liquor stores or something, that'd be one thing. But he's not doing that. He's definitely going into that Total Wine because of how close it is. You know what I'm saying? Just in the Seattle area, there's like 15 or 20 of them, something like that. But there's one like super, super close to him, like super, super close, less than 20 minutes, certainly. And he goes in there often. He's told us this. Never thought about once picking up one of those guys or even asking for one. And they'll usually give it to you if they have it in stock. Insane to me. Absolutely fucking insane.
Am I going to play Borderlands 4? I don't know. It doesn't look good to me. I didn't like Borderlands 3, and Borderlands 4 either looks like more of the same or even worse, so I don't know, man. Charles DeWise, how are you doing over on...
I mean, truth be told, he shouldn't play Borderland anyway. He shouldn't play Borderlands anyway. Because the Borderlands community is... they can be rather ravenous when they need to be. And, yeah, he's got no business sitting there flopping through their shit, to be honest. Because all they're going to do is meme that shit the fuck up. So, you saw what Morning After Kill did the fucking Wings. And that wasn't even about Borderlands. That was on some other shit. So, just imagine if DSP's fucking piece of garbage game through, or playthroughs, make their way around the Borderlands community. They're going to eat that shit the fuck up. I mean, there might actually be some people who genuinely would try to help them. But for everybody else who knows better, they're going to eat them alive.
Kick, how's it going, man? I've said I like Blue Moon beer. I've said it many times on stream.
Yeah, it's a good beer. Sometime today, Phil.
I got a $2 tip that's ridiculous. I'm not even going to read it. I'm just going to say thanks for $2.
Okay, so that's getting charged back. So
whenever I see a dumb message, from now on, I'm just going to say, yeah, whatever. Thanks for the money. And I'm going to put it on the leaderboard, and that's it. I'm not even going to bother.
That's literally not true, because there's been plenty of troll donations that he got that he refused to put on the board, and even said he wasn't going to do it because he knew it was going to get charged back. Semantics.
Pen Drive, what's going on? Welcome. All right. Let's get some support this morning.
Right into the begging.
Did you see Jasper jump? Let's get some support this morning on the stream. Did you see him on camera? He jumped really high.
That's not actually what knocked over that frame, though. DSP did that, but whatever.
Did you see? Did you see that? So he wanted to get in the closet. So I just reached out and I touched the Logitech box and I moved it across the floor. He got spooked and he did a vertical jump of about 2 feet and he knocked the box over.
Now, keep in mind, we just saw this all on camera and none of that happened. Or didn't happen the way he's describing it anyway, but whatever. Stupid is as stupid does.
Jasper, you're a nut, man.
Wow.
Oh, my goodness. Anyway, what was I going to say? Let's get some support today. Notably, let's get some subs on Kick today. All right? We are down over 150 subs on Kick in the last week.
That's hilarious.
And we haven't gotten them back. All right? The Kick support has really dried up. That sucks. We were getting good amount of subs. And
that's hilarious. That's hilarious. So what? Almost 2/3 of them just dumped up, fell off of the fucking cliff. That's insane. That's a ridiculous amount.
Support pretty much on every stream. And now I don't know what's happened. I'm playing newer games and less of the old stuff.
And that means what? Because it doesn't matter if he's playing a new game or an old game. If it's not entertaining, then it's not entertaining. So that doesn't mean anything.
And
the thing is, though, too, and I've gotten into some debates with people about this. Whereas, oh, well, One of the reasons why DSP says, you know, hey, I'm playing these new games, I'm really liking them, I'm enjoying them, and whatnot, and he's hoping that it's coming through for them. But that doesn't really mean anything, or if anything, it's a small component in the overall on whether the content's entertaining or not. Dude, there are plenty of people who play games that they weren't feeling, right? But their response to it was entertaining as shit, so people kept watching. You know what I'm saying? And don't get me wrong, I think you should play games that you actually like. I think that is a thing. You shouldn't force yourself to play or do content that you're not interested in. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But at the same time, he's bad at the game. He more than likely doesn't like the game anyway, and none of the shit's entertaining. So either way, he's in a lose situation. No one should support trash. You shouldn't support garbage. There's too much good content out there, right? Whether it's coming from good people or not, there's too much good content out there to where you don't have to deal with mediocre garbage. You don't have to deal with trash. And DSP is literally the embodiment of all of that.
And the support dried up over there, and I don't get it. And the funny part is, I'm still getting support on YouTube. Super chats and tips are still going down. It's the Kick stuff that's dried up. So let's get so damn support over on Kick this morning. Let's get our first sub on Kick, and let's get that momentum going so we can hit the goal. Like I said, I want to keep playing Blueprints. I want to finish it, but I need support to do that, or else we got to rotate it out and do something different, which I don't want to do. I want to keep it going at least, once a week. Okay? Hold on. The box fell in a weird spot.
You know, we could just get shelves like normal people. But now we can't do that. We can't do
the correct
that.
angle. We'll have to see. If there's a reflection, let me know, because I don't know if that's the correct angle or not for the screen. No, there's no stand for this thing. This thing does not come with a stand. I wish it did, but it doesn't. So I just have things propping it up. That is probably the one detriment of the frame. It doesn't come with a stand to stand it up, so I have to lean it on stuff.
Not that he couldn't like rectify that situation himself. It just has to work the way he needs it to out of the box. Gotcha. Fair enough. Because doesn't like PPP and Andy actually have theirs like hanging or something like that? Or maybe, just maybe, they actually bought like a canvas for it. Sorry, you can't expect a valedictorian to think that far ahead. That's not a thing. Initially, I didn't understand why fucking Diggs left all this like dead air in here, but now I get it. It really does spell out exactly how much dead air there is in between begs. Well played, Diggs. Well played. Well played.
Thank you, Mozzie, for a $2 super chat. It says, poor Jasper, that was funny. Yeah, he got shocked by me just moving a cardboard box. As you can see, I was just mentioning how he's still pretty spry, and then he does a 2-foot vertical leap.
Okay. So your cat's son is still not comfortable around you. I get it that cats are a bit skittish. Don't get it twisted, but like yeah, maybe that says more about you though than Jasper's actual nature itself. But then again, since Jasper don't go anywhere and don't do nothing, he's not even allowed to go in the backyard, god damn it. Yeah, I can see why he's a bit gun shy and probably a bit stare crazy. I could see how that's a thing.
No, why would I do multiple streams for a closet clean out? It's going to be into vest day.
He literally did that though. He did 2 of them plus this right here where he was supposed to be retiring the vest. That literally was the multi fucking streams of the closet clean out. He's literally doing the very thing that he's denying that he should have to do. That's hilarious.
Into Vestins Day, okay? It's going to be 3 things in one. It's going to be a marathon where we hang out and have fun and I drink and basically have a good time just chilling with you. It's going to be me cleaning out this closet.
For the 3rd time. So maybe you don't understand what multi means? It's okay. You're retarded. I can't expect you to be completely on the ball.
So that I can finally organize the office with all the shit that I have on the floor and having easy access to all the things that I need for streams, including the wheel and all of that. But it's also going to be a last time that we do a day where I wear the hats and vests. We haven't done it in like a year. So you guys are going to be voting on hats and vests to wear during that event, and we'll be switching between them for like every $50 of support. We'll do, a new hat, a new vest.
If he went back to the original formula, though, of Vest Streak, it could work. It could work. If he would go back to it. Like the way it was originally, where people could pick a vest, right? Any vest. Nothing was excluded because of the day or because they already wore it, 10 times before, whatever the fuck. It could be successful, but he won't do it because he's a control junkie. And as well as he's a junkie. So that's just not a thing. He's got 2 major things working against his ass. Because if you really think about it, right? Like, the reason why Vest Streak failed the 1st time, the 2nd time, and the 3rd time, for clarification, Vest Streak originally ended at 73, then it ended at 276, then he tried to revamp it later, and then it didn't last long. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it went on for maybe, it had a streak of maybe like 7, maybe 8 times, then it died. He tried to do it again a couple times, it died, and then eventually he just gave it up. Anyway, point being, is the reason why it failed is because he started trying to gatekeep what vests could be used at certain times. And that's what fucked it all up. At the end of the day, if you're going to ask these people to give you $100 to put something on, it should be what they want, not what's convenient for you. End of story. So that's what ended up killing it. And he's been chasing that number ever since. So I'm wondering if with this whole DSP tries it situation, if he does get up to 300, I should say, will he make a big deal of it? Oh, for all of you people who laughed at me when the Vest Streak originally died, I made 300 of I made it to 300 of these DSP tries it. How do you feel about that, bitch? Or whatever nonsense that he decides to go about. Whatever. So I'm curious if that's a thing. Because if each marathon requires 100, I mean, I'm sure we're coming up on a 3rd marathon eventually. So maybe he'll say it then. Maybe he won't. Maybe he just doesn't care at this point.
The new hat, a new vest, and each time we do it...
I mean, truth be told, he's made far more money. I want to tell you he's made far more money doing that. Well, no, he's close. He's close. Because Vest Streak brought in like 30, between like 30 and 40,000. And... wait a second. Let me do some math here for a minute. Let's see here. So $150 a goal. Every 10 goals, that's 1,500. So if you do 100, if you end up having 10 of those 10, if you do 10 more of those, that brings you up to 15,000. He's gotten up to 2 of those so far, so that puts him at 30. Yeah, so he's actually made more money with this new DSP tries it scam than he's done with Vest Streak, to be honest. So there's no reason why he shouldn't gloat when he finally hits his 3rd marathon, which means there would have been 300 goals hit, which is roughly $45,000. Something to think about.
It'll basically be like retiring that hat and vest and putting it into storage. Not saying that we'll never bring them back. Maybe we'll bring them back for special events, but people have been asking, gee, what happened to the hats and the vests? Well, they've just been sitting in there taking up space. It's time to put them into storage so I have room for things I actually need to store in there for the streams. Really? Your birthday is April 4th?
So he's actually admitting that he wants to do other gimmicks and he needs to make room for them, basically. Even though we never were able to figure out how to set up a coat rack or, or any rack anyway for the coats or for the hats. We never were able to figure that out. What was the gimmick? He was using like adhesive tape or some shit instead of drilling a hole into the wall or whatever. There's other alternatives too. But yeah, he never was able to figure all that out. Well, you know, stupid is as stupid does.
Well, happy early birthday, Adam. Hopefully you have a good day that day. It's pretty crazy. Not April 4th, July 4th. Excuse me. Did I say April 4th? I meant to say July 4th.
Wow.
Hilarious. 8 out of the 10 top sub gifters are banned. Well, let's take a look. You ready? Here we go. Dr. Lexus, not banned. Dr. Lexus was a butt kisser of the casino. He came by and supported like crazy.
Wait. Dr. Lexus is not banned, but then you're gonna sit there and call him a cocksucker, and you expect him to continue to give you money? This is the reason why this asshole can't. This is the reason why people don't want to be around him. Holy shit! Let's bring that back. You're gonna immediately talk. Someone calls you out for banning a bunch of your top donators, and what do? You go back to try to dispel that they're banned, and then you decide to turn around and shit on them. Yikes! Holy shit! It'd be unbelievable if it wasn't true.
Hilarious. 8 out of the 10 top sub gifters are banned. Well, let's take a look. You ready? Here we go. Dr. Lexus, not banned. Dr. Lexus was a butt kisser of the casino. He came by and supported like crazy when I was with the casino. And the moment that I dropped them, he freaked out. He didn't come by for a week. Then he came by for one stream and claimed he was still going to support, dropped exactly enough subs to be $220, and then left and never came back. So he's not banned. Iron Chef Sakai. We all know why Iron Chef Sakai is banned, because he's a piece of shit. Lance Catamaran, not banned. I don't even know who Lance Catamaran is. They usually come by, drop support, and leave and never come back.
Well, why do you need to know who he is? Just can't you appreciate what they gave you and just let them move on with their day? What, do you need to harass him through email? Which is one of the active theories that, and this has persisted for a number of years, some of this has actually been proven, that he will reach out to his big whales and what are pay pigs and try to coerce them into fucking helping him out, this, that, and third. How do we know that? Well, we know that because he's done it before and some of them came out. Or he exposed it himself. How did he get through emails? Oh, he got it through their PayPal. Yeah. He got it through their PayPal. I mean, some of them actually emailed him willingly, and then he used that email, compared that to the PayPal donations email they were using, and that's how he was able to cooperate it. But yeah, he's been known for, he's good for doing that, which is nothing different because what's that chick's name on Twitch? It was something Vader. She came out right around the time, not long after Bad Bunny with her little $5 situation. But this chick named Vader, she was real slimy. She's still around too. She real slimy. She would take your PayPal information and cross-reference that on LinkedIn, on Facebook, and she was on like 2 other sites. She basically looked up the information of people publicly, but she looked up people's information, and then she would figure out who you were, what kind of job you had, or what your career was, were you married, this, that, and the third, and then she would basically press their asses accordingly. That was diabolical. But what made it even worse is, come to find out, it's not unique to her. She picked that up from somewhere else or someone else and whatnot. So what someone taught her that, basically, and whatnot. She was just dumb enough to come out publicly and say it and whatnot. So there you go on that. Wild shit though, bro. That was diabolical. It's like, I think It's a Gundam actually still has the clip of that shit. I may have it archived somewhere too. But it's like 5 minutes of just absolutely diabolical bullshit. Like on how she breaks motherfuckers down and shit. And then she even goes out of her way to make sure she can memorize your screen name and then coincide that with your real name. But she said this later on, that she had to be careful because there were some times where she accidentally let people's real names slip, and she didn't actually mean for that to happen. Scary shit, bro. Scary shit. Scary shit. Absolutely fucking scary shit what these e-thoughts will do.
It's a me, Ken. That's Iron Chef Sakai's sock account. That's also banned because it's Iron Chef Sakai. Rend, nope, not banned. Rend was a longtime supporter who hasn't been seen in months. They just decided not to come back. Void was someone who literally said the only reason they supported me is because they had a dying friend in their deathbed saying that they wanted them to support me.
That made no fucking sense. I don't know what the fuck is the situation with that. And ladies and gentlemen, I want you to take some of the sense. It's reasons like this is the reason why Sly and 007 got on fucking duty about talking to these dents. Because some of these dents are absolutely fucking mentally ill. And you probably shouldn't be speaking to them. I understand for duty it's supposed to be all content or whatever the fuck, but some of these people you shouldn't talk to. And that's the reason why Sly and Duty and 007 allegedly got on duty about that. About him talking to these dents, and we're like, yo, you need to stop doing it. Anywho, as it pertains to this guy, yeah, this dude's story was allegedly a dying friend gave him control of their estate with a set amount of money that was supposed to be contributed to Dark Side Phil. Like, it basically, he said that this guy, another person, who none of us ever heard of, basically had a will, a last will and testament, and DSP was in it. Okay, that's the most fucking off-the-wall excuse to give a fucking lol-cow money, but go with whatever you feel comfortable with. But holy shit, bro. It's fucking mentally tapped out as some of these people are. You gotta go to... Sorry. You have to go through these type of reasonings or come up with these type of excuses to give some fucking loser online money. Holy shit, bro.
That's a complete lie, by the way. Shit talked to me. I don't remember if I even banned Void, but Void banned.
You should be able to tell right then and there if he's banned, but it don't matter because we're at least 4 for 4 at this point. So yeah, almost half of the top contributors are banned, and he's so stupid, right? And doesn't even understand that the trap that he's in, he's literally confirming it in real time, and he hasn't even figured it out yet.
To me from all their stuff, I know that. Your Future Stepdad, not banned. Only Iced Infinite, not banned. Rare Tricks, not banned. Perry the White, not banned. So there is literally one person banned in the top 10 supporters on this channel.
That's not true. There's actually like 4, but you said 2 of them belong to Irish Chef Sakai. So we can really say 3, but I'm pretty sure there's actually a 5th person in there. But it don't even matter. Truth be told, let's get past the semantics. It doesn't even matter. Out of the top 10, if they're not banned, they're MIA. So who gives a shit? And more than likely, he's probably banned them at one time or another, and then he let them back on, and he just forgot because he's fucking Jen pickle brained. So it doesn't literally even matter.
It's Iron Chef Sakai. That's it. So what the fuck are you talking about, dunces? You want to make shit up? How about you?
And didn't he get mad at Iron Chef Sakai because he supported Strangely Lex? He ain't sat there and you ain't lost out on a fucking pay pig cash cow over him contributing to some other chick and her girlfriend? The fuck?
Bring some fucking facts next time, dunces.
What's the point of that? You can't even dispel the facts that are thrown at you on a daily basis. So that doesn't mean anything. And yet again, it only proves what it really proves. It only proves that if he hasn't banned you, most of those guys are already MIA anyway. It literally doesn't matter. So you're crying and complaining about how you don't have any support when the majority of those guys either left your ass or they got banned. And most of them probably left because they got banned one night because DSP got mad at him. But he'll never tell you that. Fucking crazy, bro. Anything to try to get a win. That's sad.
Rare Tricks was also a casino supporter who decided to not come back.
Oh, so he's another cocksucker too then, I guess. Womp womp. And then think about that publicly. Think about, like, because I don't know at this point if I've made it clear on what the bait was. The bait isn't about who actually got banned. It's really about how many people in the top 10 have left and not come back. And DSP sat there and admitted it. He didn't even realize what the true motive, and this is just me thinking, I have no clue if that's what this person was going for, but he's not even really looking at the true situation that's in front of him. He fell for some impulse bullshit and exposed that most of the people in his top 10, if not all of them, just picked up and left his ass. That's wild. That is literally wild. And see, that's the thing. If you're not thinking 2 or 3 steps ahead, there's somebody else that is. And even when it comes to trolling, that's a thing. Holy shit. Suffer, Philip. Suffer.
Oh, did I actually ban Void? Okay.
Oh, uh-oh. It looks like the plot thickens. Come back with them receipts, dunce. Uh-oh. Well, it looks like the receipts are starting to show up.
He banned me first for literally no reason. And when I was actually still with the casino, he would shit talk me constantly on their stream.
I don't care about any of this. I'll bring it back just so you guys have it. But I don't give a fuck about any of this. You said he wasn't banned. You told whoever it was, who I think you banned that person too for bringing this all up, that make sure they come with receipts next time, dunce. And then come to find out, yeah, you did actually ban this guy. And now we're getting into the cover story. Oh, well, I banned him because he mistreated me first. I didn't ask you for justification. I asked you if he was banned or whatnot. And you lied, as he usually does. Womp womp.
Oh, did I actually ban Void? Okay. He banned me first for literally no reason. And when I was actually still with the casino, he would shit talk me constantly on their streams and stuff, which made no fucking sense.
And here's another thing too. This shows you how much of a fucking idiot DSP is. DSP knew he lied. That's why when he got called out on it, he already had the preloaded excuse on why he banned him, because he did something to me first. So he knew he lied on Void. He knew from Jump Street he lied on Void. And once he got called out, oh, well, I got my pre-made excuse. You know what I'm saying? I got my preheated excuse, so I'm good. Wow. That's a good catch. That's a damn good catch. That's hilarious.
He was just
tells you a lot.
An asshole. I don't know.
Tells you a lot. Holy shit.
So I guess there's 2 people banned.
I swear he does that like he's pouring out like a cocktail or something. That has to be alcohol. It has to be. No one pours water out like that. But whatever. Semantics. And matter of fact, if it has a funnel, not a funnel, if there's like a tube there where he can actually drink out of it, like, you know what I'm saying? Like it has like a pop open straw at the top or whatever, then why isn't he drinking out of it like that? Why do you need a cup? Especially DSP's penchant of spilling shit. Something to think about.
I would really love to.
And that struggle session of him closing it, it makes me think that there is alcohol in there, and the sugar has started to kind of harden a bit, and that's why that's why you see him going through that struggle session to close it. But yet again, that's just me though. I mean, for all I know, it's flavored carbonated water. It could be that too.
To understand people, like, who is Iron Chef Sakai really?
And why does that matter? Why does it matter who the person is or whatever? But yet again, this only feeds back into the notion, meme, but the notion that he is doxing the people who give him money. Because I don't know too many people who, let me give you an example. Let's see, one of Tevin's top contributors, Almighty Tevin, big ups, praise be, was this guy named Turkey Burger. I think that was her name. Their name was like Turkey. I don't know. He had a bunch of big contributors, to be honest with you. But he still does. But I think it was a dude named Turkey Burger. This is back in the day when he used to stream exclusively on YouTube. That guy dropped crazy money. Crazy money. I think that was way before gifted memberships and stuff like that were made available on YouTube. Anywho, here's the point. The point is no one, including Tevin, never asked who this person was. Hey man, I appreciate you, you know what I'm saying, dropping whatever it was that he dropped. And then, you know, back on with the stream. You know what I'm saying? Like, who does that? Now, don't get me wrong. Most big contributors or paid pigs or whales do know or do have some type of have some type of, not relationship, but a rapport, if you will, with the people that they donate, like talk to them on Twitter or in Discords or whatever. I get that. But for someone like DSP who has a known history of doxing, why the fuck would you want, why would you want anybody, or Phil especially, to know who the fuck you are? And the fact that DSP is questioning it, especially since him and Iron Chef Sakai ain't cool no more, means what, ladies and gentlemen? Oh, it looks like he may be looking to dox. He may be looking to get some of that PW Dubs treatment, for all of you guys who remember that situation.
Where does he get his money from? And why does he just throw it at people on the internet like he does in a crazy fashion? And also, what makes...
Was it a crazy fashion when he was donating to you all stupid and crazy like? Oh no, it only became a problem when he decided to throw it at them females. Then that was a thing. So when he was sitting there throwing money at you, being real gay about it, if one wants to look at it that way, it was okay. But when he sat there and had some interest in something else and whatnot, then all of a sudden it became a problem. Okay, fair enough.
Makes him so goddamn bipolar?
Actually, funny enough, DSP actually shared, if you guys, for those of you who know your lore, DSP has shared a couple of different pay pigs with Wings of Redemption and with Low Tier God. But with LTG in particular, he never said nothing about it. Like, people would say, oh, we saw this guy doing it. Oh, okay, that's cool. Well, you know, he likes who he likes, and he basically let it go. Didn't even really pry into it any further than that. It's definitely in some SnortBucks videos. And you might find it in some memology videos, but definitely in SnortBucks videos, for sure. Because I remember watching all of them when it was happening in real time. The Wings one, I'm not sure. Because I want to say that's 672 or 678, whatever that guy's name is. He was a mod, or he is a mod for Wings. And he's giving money to DSP. He actually used to hang around for a while until he ain't got, I wouldn't say bullied, but until he decided to jump back over to the SS fucking Pepsi. But that's a thing too. But yeah, that Strangely Lex thing really got his panties in a bunch though. Never really understood why. And if DSP was smart, he'd have let Kat, when, you know, she still looked decent, he would have had her stream and shit and let his little pay pig go ahead and pay to that. You guys are in the same house, so you guys were splitting the income either which way. Anyway, we can talk about that another day. We can talk about that another day.
That he like turns on people and then causes drama on streams and shit. Like, what kind of person is that? Because there's been more than one person who's done that over the years, right? There, you know, we've had guys like Tutankhamun and stuff like that, and it's just bizarre.
Oh, another thing too. I'm glad you brought that up. Tutankhamun or King Tut, supposedly they're two separate people. But the reason why that still lives rent-free in DSP's head is because DSP said that all the chargebacks that Tutankhamun did to him, he won all those. Now, we know that's not true, because Tutankhamun actually told us that he went ahead and just disputed it with his credit card. He didn't even bother going to PayPal. He just went to the credit card company. And that's a tried and true method even before he said it. Now, DSP for the longest time said, no, it's not true. He's just trying to stay face. I won all of those things. After a couple weeks, he was like, well, maybe he did do that. And maybe they did give him his money back. But it doesn't matter because PayPal didn't take anything from me. So, you know, he got away with fraud, but I still won. I still got away with my money. And then as time went on, he started easing it back even further, or he kept walking it back further and further and further. And then he just stopped talking about it when it was brought up, which makes me think that he lost. He lost each and every one of those exchanges and whatnot. And that would explain why the chargebacks around that time were as hideous or diabolical or demonic, actually, because that was big money that Tutankhamun was dropping at that time. That explains why the thirst for money, the hunger to beg, was as high as it was, because he had to make up for all those fees and shit that Tutankhamun put on his ass. And that was a big setback. That was a major setback for DSP. That shit was hilarious. Hilarious.
So you come,
especially too, Tutankhamun had fucking DSP prancing around like a little bitch, similar to PPP or Triple P as I like to call him. He had him prancing around all crazy, doing weird ass shit. Not physically like that, but DSP was definitely bending over backwards to accommodate him. And he was even having DSP play Street Fighter V. Shit, he had him playing Street Fighter V when he wasn't even there. You know what I'm saying? He literally had full control of those streams for the longest time and shit. And I think it was a joint combination or a joint collaboration between, I want to tell you that was between Swaggins. It was Swaggins and someone else that ended up getting Tutankhamun out of pocket. Oh, who was that other guy? I won't hold y'all up, but I'm pretty confident though that it was Swaggins and someone else who ended up getting him up and out of pocket. Trying to think who that other guy was. Who was another pay pig. Anyway, it'll come to me. But yeah, that's what ended up getting Tutankhamun. Well, allegedly, what got Tutankhamun out of position. But that was a funny time though. That was some funny times.
I'm on a stream, right? And you decide you're going to start massively supporting and being positive. And then over the course of several months, you say, hey, I want to be your mod because I like your content so much. Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you hate the person and you're shit talking them on their own stream and you're losing your mind, insulting the viewers and fans and the streamer. What are you doing? Then you apologize and claim you had a really bad day and you want to come back. So then you do. Then you support the stream again and then you just do it again.
I mean, this is coming from the same person who literally abuses his audience and whatnot, and then the next day he comes up with some lame ass story on why he was justified in doing it, but everything's going to be okay, everything's going to be all better now. So I mean, theoretically you could say he learned from the best. Just putting it out there.
Like, and also, where does the money come from? Like, for me,
and here's the thing too, I'm wondering when he started saying at this particular point, when he was saying where's the money coming from, I wonder if only if Iron Chef Sakai was starting the process for chargebacks, or he was already doing it, and that's why DSP brought this up. I wonder. Now, as far as I know, Iron Chef Sakai hasn't said anything about anything as it pertains to chargebacks, but I'm wondering if that was one of the motivations on why DSP is like, where's the money coming from? Where's the money from? You just said the guy is mentally unstable. Who gives a fuck where the money comes from at that point? You know what I'm saying? What, you're gonna try to call him out for mental illness and him being on government support or whatever the fuck if he's on that? I mean, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense, being that you have some of your other donators who do the same thing. That might not be conducive. That might not be the best move. Not that DSP has any practice in that.
Let me put it this way, okay? For me, when I look at something that I'm going to spend money on, right? Like
food or liquor?
It's hard, like even the investment of something like this wheel that I was going to buy, right? I knew it was very expensive, but I want to be sure if I was going to buy this wheel and pedal and everything that we were going to get many streams out of it. It was going to benefit the business. It was going to benefit my content. It's not just something that I'm just buying frivolously that's going to sit around and
it didn't, because theoretically he could have played on controller and played equally as bad. So no, not at all. Unless DSP really did lose his license and he's like using this as training to get his fucking license back. Is that a thing, Phil? Is it true that you got your license suspended or it expired and you just haven't gone back to get it? And you're afraid that you may have to go through another driving test that you probably haven't been driving in a while, or you haven't driven in a while, I should say. And so that's why you were using truck sims as practice. That's my own personal Theo theory. It's not exactly a Theo theory, but it's funny to me. So I find it amusing. So that's what I'm going with. Because that whole situation with, oh, I can't get a passport, or all this other bullshit, lame shit that you keep talking about, or whatever his issue was about flying from Washington to Connecticut, it just makes you think.
not get use. You know, I used to do that. I 100% used to buy junk. I bought all those.
You still buy junk. Nothing's changed. You still buy trash. You just try to find, you're better at justifying why you did it, I guess.
Statues and all that crap that I used to have in my old place over a decade ago. But I learned from those mistakes. For me, it's like...
But no, you didn't, because you said that most of the peripherals that he bought, ladies and gentlemen, was either because he was on the tournament scene, he was using it for Project 7, or the props and stuff that he was using in the background, he was doing it to show that he was a poser, fucking fake-ass gamer and whatnot. And then when DSP was desperate to have his own office space, this is back in 2013, 2014, he was going to use some of that stuff to decorate the office space. So it's not like he didn't have an idea for it. It was still stupid. Don't get me wrong. Just because he had an idea for it doesn't make it any less any less stupid. It's still stupid. But let's not act like he didn't try to justify it back then.
I'm just going to be careful about what I spend and, you know, what I'm supporting and stuff like that. Correct?
Wait, who or what I'm what the fuck? What was that part? Let me bring that back. That might be nothing. That might be nothing. It's weird how he said that. Hold on a second.
Used to buy junk. I bought all those statues and all that crap that I used to have in my old place over a decade ago. But I learned from those mistakes. For me, it's like, I'm just going to be careful about what I spend and, you know, what I'm supporting and stuff.
Who and what who are you supporting, Phil? Okay, one more time. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't know. I'm being incredibly fucking OCD about this shit. But who do you support, Phil? What are you talking about? You don't support anybody. You don't give anybody anything.
Around and not get use. You know, I used to do that. I 100% used to buy junk. I bought all those statues and all that crap that I used to have in my old place over a decade ago. But I learned from those mistakes. For me, it's like, I'm just going to be careful about what I spend and, you know, what I'm supporting and stuff.
Who and what I'm supporting. That sounds like a Freudian slip, but I don't know why. I don't know why. You don't have a history of supporting anybody, so why is this exist? Okay, whatever. I'm in August right now, so I'm in early August right now. So it doesn't really matter, but maybe this is something later, but I don't understand that. That's a weird one. And that's something that I could have easily missed, but I don't understand that. That's weird. You don't support anybody. So why would you say who or what I support? You don't support anybody. You don't give anybody anything. Oh well, all right, fair enough. It might be nothing, but maybe it materializes into something
like that, correct? And then this guy, he comes on the stream. Oh, I'm going to support. I'm just going to throw hundreds to thousands of dollars at.
I mean, he did give money to Kino Casino, though. I guess he contributed to them a few times, but we're far removed from that. Like I said, it's probably nothing.
Multiple,
unless he's donating to people on Twitch, which he really can't do that right now because his account is deactivated. So, but he has to have a secondary Twitch account because I don't know anybody who don't. You know what I'm saying? So it is what I don't know. Maybe I'm reaching. I mean, maybe it's nothing.
People on the internet out of nowhere, but now today I hate them, even though I just sent them thousands of dollars. Now I'm going to say that I hate them.
Well, thank you for confirming that Iron Chef Sakai is giving you thousands upon thousands of dollars, as if we didn't already know that.
It doesn't sound like your head's screwed on too tight there. Seems like you got a couple things loose. And the question is, where does that money come from?
And the fact that he keeps coming back to the money, that's the thing that makes me think that he's dealing with chargebacks and he don't want to speak on it. Because it's really weird. Like, you just keep coming back to the money. You want to say this guy's crazy, he's not mentally, he doesn't have all his mental faculties or whatever, and then you keep coming back to the money. What point are you trying to make with that?
Because if someone who acts like that, that's that bipolar, do you really think they're holding down like a Fortune 500 fucking investment job where they're making insane amounts of money that they can frivolously throw at people on the internet? It sounds to me that their money's coming from someone. You know what I'm saying? Mommy and daddy.
He's dealing with chargebacks. He's literally telling you in real time he's dealing with chargebacks. Now, I don't know if Iron Chef Sakai is the one who's dealing it, but he's definitely dealing with chargebacks. If it's not Iron Chef Sakai who's hitting it with chargeback, it's somebody else. And he's basically just inserting Iron Chef Sakai in that place and whatnot. That's what I'm thinking. Because DSP is good for that. He's done this before with other people. So, but it makes you wonder, why is he so focused on where the money comes from? Why do you care?
Something like that, this fucking oil baron. Like, where exactly is that coming from? Because I don't foresee people who are like intelligent, nicely knit, smart people who have good investments and money don't usually go online and throw thousands of dollars at random streamers.
But that's what you do, though. If you think about it, your head's not screwed on properly. You have addictions and problems. You have all kinds of addictions and shortcomings and so on and so forth. And you throw stupid money at WWE champions for no damn reason. I don't give a fuck that it's his hobby or it's something that he does on his downtime, and it's his personal little dirty ass addiction that he want to deal with. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna mock it all day because I have the right to do so. But your head's not screwed on either. So it's really weird to sit there and call somebody out on some bullshit or how they spend their money when you're just as bad as them, if not worse. Just saying. You know, Iron Chef Sakai allegedly threw a few thousand at you over the span of months. I've seen you toss thousands upon thousands of dollars at WWE champions over the span of a weekend. It wasn't like he was in Vegas and he ain't spent that shit on an escort, some coke, and maybe an hour or two at a fucking crap table. I've seen you throw that shit at a fucking digital card game, a digital gotcha game over the span of a weekend. I saw you do that over a Friday and a Saturday. Womp womp.
Then to become bipolar and be like, oh, I hate you, and then come back and then leave again, throw more money at them. It's just bizarre behavior.
And yet you still accepted their money. So what does that mean? So Phil, do we take advantage, not take care? Because trust me, you don't take care of shit. Do we take advantage of the mentally and physically disabled then? Just saying, if Iron Chef Sakai is this mentally fucking midget moron who clearly needs to be institutionalized or whatever, did you feel that way when you took his money? Did you feel that way when you continued to take his money? Do you not think that you're not part of the problem? Kind of weird to take money from mentally ill people, Phil. Seems kind of off, especially when you know or you think they're mentally ill people. Didn't stop DSP from spending his money though. Something to think about.
Because it's one thing if someone, for example, comes by and says, hey, I want to support you because you're my absolute favorite streamer, so I am going to give you support, right? Some people might do that, and that's the one person who you support. This fucking guy,
that is the one person you support. Wait, that's weird. See, you'll know that no detractor ever says this, because your favorite detractor's favorite detractor probably has a few people who, you know what I'm saying, support them or contribute to them or whatever. But they don't think that they're the only person within this detractor sphere, if you will, that this person donates to. No one thinks that way, and I don't think anybody would want anybody to think that way. But he do, though. That right there isn't weird. It isn't weird that you have one person that's completely and utterly devoted to you financially and emotionally. So you're okay with people having parasocial relationships with you as long as they give you large, copious amounts of money, and only give you large, copious amounts of money? Oh, okay. That's something. Gotta tell you.
Because it's one thing if someone, for example, comes by and says, hey, I want to support you because you're my absolute favorite streamer, so I am going to give you support, right? Some people might do that, and that's the one person who you support. This fucking guy, he's on the casino streams, he's on my streams, he's on Detractor streams, he's throwing money in every direction.
So you're really mad that he gives other people money besides you. That's what the real problem is. It's not that the guy hates him. It's not that the guy has outbursts and leaves and comes back and leaves and comes back. It's the fact that he gives money to the opposition, to the ops. That's what bothers DSP. Because he thinks if he could centralize all of those contributions to him, and he thinks if he could talk this person, I guess, down behind the scenes or whatever, he could get them under his control. But because he's in all these other different areas doing shit, he doesn't have any real control of the situation, so immediately demonize him. Huh. Okay, if that's not mental illness, I don't know what is.
Where the fuck does the money come from? Right? What oil fucking geyser did you hit that you have infinitely rich? You could just throw money at people nonstop and then hate them the next day. It's fucking really odd. I would love to see a documentary on that shit. Where do these people get the money from? How about that person who...
If that's the case, then maybe June the King should go ahead and do an extensive documentary on the people who support DSP. And where do they get their money from? And what do they do for a living? Or how are they able to maintain their day-to-day life? I don't think you want that getting out. I bet DSP doesn't want a close-up look on that, a behind-the-scenes look on that, an in-depth report on that. But I think it'd be interesting, though.
Who delivered the bag of cash to Amaranth? Who the fuck was that? Where did you get the money from? What is with you? I want answers on this stuff. Very odd stuff.
Okay.
How many founders badges are there? How many are banned? I don't know how to see that. You can't see that. There is no like dashboard on Kick that actually shows founder stuff, to my knowledge.
Listen, isn't the founder badge one of the same? It's one of two badges that he auctions off, or he used to. I don't know if he does it so much anymore, but he used to auction off every once in a while. There has to be a way of him being able to track that. There has to be a way of him to be able to track that.
There's a dashboard for VIP. There's a dashboard for OG. There's no founders dashboard. I didn't even know.
Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's the VIP and the OG badges are the ones that he was auctioning off. It doesn't matter. You shouldn't be able to do any of that anyway. None of that should be considered a thing, but it is what it is, I guess.
How many founders badges I had because you can't see them. So I was telling people, hey, if you become a legit sub, you'll get a founders badge, but you can't see them. See, they show you how many active subscriptions you actually have.
Now, keep in mind, this is the same guy who said, while he was on YouTube and Twitch, respectfully, he said that he couldn't see his viewer count, or it's something that he chose not to look at, or it's not on his dashboard, or whatever. If he'd lie about something as stupid as those things, he'd lie about anything.
But you can't see them. Like right now, I can't even click on this to see who is actually an active sub. They do have that for VIP and OG. Like I can see the VIP badges and the OG. I can't see that for subs. They don't let me see it. So because of that, I couldn't even answer you.
What do you mean subs? He didn't even ask you about subs. He asked you about founders badges. You see how he ain't sat there and already fucked up? He asked you, how many founders badges do you have? Or how many people do you, or how many do you have to give, or whatever. How did we go from founder badges to subs? And that doesn't make any sense. So they can track OG badges, and they can track whatever the other badge was, and whatnot. But you can't track founders badges. That doesn't make any sense.
On like how many people actually are founders and stuff like that. There doesn't appear to be any statistics on Kick for that. So.
Oh, and then he tried to correct it again later. See how he flip-flopped between the two? What a slime ball. I mean, or it's just his mental faculties are starting to, well, are failing him. But that's really weird how he flipped between the two of those. It's almost like he purposely tried to confuse you.
A legit sub means someone actually actively bought the sub themselves and is actively renewing it monthly. That's a legit active sub, as opposed to a gifted sub, which is just a one-off gift and it's going to expire. That's the difference. And the founders can only be people who bought the legit subs themselves. You can't be gifted a sub and be a founder. See what I mean? How good is...
If that's the case, then there has to be a way to track that then. There legitimately has to be a way of tracking that. I don't know why he'd lie about it, but there has to be a legitimate way to track that. Because why wouldn't they give you an option to track legitimate people who become members or who become subs to your channel? That just sounds weird.
The battery with the Hall effect controller. From my testing, the controller lasts about 4 to 5 hours. You know, there was one stream where we played a lot, and by the end of the stream, it was down to 1 bar out of 4.
Was it fully charged, though? Probably not, so extra doubt on that.
But it was still going, so maybe it would have went like another hour. I don't know.
So then your testing isn't shit. Thanks. I didn't need confirmation, but I already knew it.
So it's probably like a 4 to 5 hour charge, but it's easily rechargeable. It's a rechargeable battery built into this. You don't need batteries to put in there. It already has the lithium ion battery in it.
From my testing.
Okay.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
Oh, I'm sorry, Casanova. I missed it. Casanova popping their 45-month celebration message for being a member here on YouTube and says, I hope that you're doing well, Phil. I am. Today's going to be a very relaxing, chill day. We're going to hang back and just enjoy each other's company, both in blueprints and in casting.
Now, keep in mind, these aren't his friends. He has no real relationship with them, this, that, and the third, and yet you talk like this. Like, you shouldn't be, like, you know what I'm saying? If he had any real strong mental faculties or any type of self-awareness, he wouldn't talk out of both sides of his fucking snout like this. And if you're someone who is not mentally put together, he's giving you mixed signals and you're just kind of going with it because you can't tell which way to go about it. Yikes. That's wild, bro.
Chill. I am hoping, by the way,
and that's the reason why he gets so pissed off when he finds out that some of these other guys frequent other people's channels and whatnot, because he's scared he's going to lose his control over them. Not influence, his control over them.
17 out of 20 goals hit. I didn't even talk about this today. Let's talk about it now. It's coming by on the leaderboard here. 3 more goals to hit, and it is time for DSP Tries It Mod Pizza. I'm going to get 2 pizzas. I'm going to get one of the crispy, thin crispy, and one of the thick crust pizzas. I don't know the difference. I've never had mod pizza before.
So we're begging for pizza now, and you can't tell the difference. You don't know the difference between thin crust and pan, basically. The retardation is incredible. It's incredible. It's incredible how far he'll go to humiliate himself to try to basically encourage people to, hey, let me try this because I can't tell the difference. Dude, let's be honest. Let's call spade a spade. Thin crust at one place is usually the same as let me catch myself. Thin crust at your everyday place, Pizza Hut, Domino's, Little Caesars, whatever the fuck, is pretty much the same. Now, if you're talking about that compared to like thin crust at like your mom and pop spot or whatever, then you're gonna have a bit of a difference. But for the most part, dude, it's gonna be pretty similar if you're talking about just your local everyday chains, fast food chains, so to speak, and then your mom and pop shops. Like, you're gonna have, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you've had, it's not that hard. You can't really say that, oh, I've never really had something like that before. You have, clearly. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, is it going to be a little bit more crispier? Is it going to be a little bit softer as you get towards the center? So, well, Phil and Kat probably don't know too much about that as of late. Anyway, you know what I'm saying? There's going to be some differences here and there, but not by much. Like, you know what I'm saying? Act like a fucking alien when it comes to this shit. You've never had thin crust pizza before.
We're going to get one of each to taste test them. Now, I would love to do this on Tuesday. That would be ideally the best day of the week. It doesn't have to happen on Tuesday, but Tuesday would work best for scheduling and everything. But that means we have to hit a goal on this stream, on the late stream tonight, and on tomorrow's stream. So that would be...
So he expects... So let's call a spade. He's expecting $450 out of them in the next 36 hours. So is it really ideal for us to be able to do it on Tuesday? Or am I sitting here trying to figure out if I can pull $450 out of you in the span of 2 days, then I bet you I could probably pull $700 out of you in 4. I could probably pull $1,000 out of you in a week, in 5 days, if I really, really struggle session it. And that's all this is. And I know most people would say, nah, he doesn't think that far ahead. Why else? Because fuck the schedule, bro. We've seen him break schedule a bunch of times. He did it plenty for Kino Casino. So you're telling me for $450, so you're telling me someone who's demanding $450 in 36 hours, basically, doesn't have a much larger idea behind it? Or he's not scheming for something?
Blueprints, Cast and Chill, and Animusha 2 all have to hit goals. Or if we exceed a goal, like if let's say we do 2 goals on this stream. Last week, I thought Blueprints was going to do horrible, and we hit 2 goals on the Blueprint stream. Okay.
And that's the reason why he dragged that shit out. That game should have been completed, even with his own stupidity. He should have beaten that game long before he did. But because it was still drumming in money, he felt like he could bleed that shit out. And he got lost in the sauce. He should have completed that shit early, or reasonably, I should say, because he don't do anything early. He should have completed that shit reasonably, so he could have moved on to the next game and, in air quotes, keep that momentum or transfer that momentum to something else. But he's stupid, so he keeps dragging these games out. People lose interest. Then people start to lose interest in the new games that are coming up because no one wants to see him play it because he's going to play it poorly. He's probably not going to like it. And then he's going to drag it out on them. He's going to drag that game out as well. It's a self-fulfilling cycle of failure, and he's just not smart enough to identify it, which is great for us. But if you're a dent, what do I care? You're a dent.
So it can happen. All right. We get 2 goals on this stream or 2 goals on the night stream. Then it makes it easier. All right. Right now, we are getting very little support. We got 1 super chat from Mozzie, and we've got, oh, by the way, Europe Gaming, thank you also for 45 months as a member. He says love and support. And Mozzie also 19 months as a member said 19 months and counting. Thank you guys. Those are all the celebratory messages. Those were not active re-upping, so they don't count towards the support of the stream, but I appreciate.
Now, he counts those things now. And he should have always been counting those things. The fact that he was ripping people off like that is bullshit. Because even if it's just your re-up message or whatever, that means that what it means is the money that helped, that reinforced that, it had to be counted somewhere. But he wasn't counting it. He counts them now, but he wasn't counting them back then, which is fucked up. Because he was being paid for it. He was being paid for it. And he knew it. And so if you have 10 people, you know what I'm saying, who are doing that shit, and you're not telling nobody, he's pocketing $50. If it's at $5 a pop. He's pocketing $50 off rep. That was wild that he got away with that as long as he did. That was wild and whatnot, how he did that shit. Absolute fucking criminal and whatnot. But he got the nerve to call other people criminals. Imagine that.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Fucking scam artist.
So let's get some support and momentum going so we can hit the goal on this stream and get it moving momentum so we can do mod pizza this week. I want to do it, like I said, tomorrow.
Wow. Wow. What a scumbag. But I can see why Bad Bunny, Invader, and some of those thoughts around that time, I should say, were going hard in the paint the way they were. They learned from the best. So I'll give them that one. They learned from the best. All right, big ups to Raw Phil and big ups to Diggs for that. And let's see, let's do closing thoughts and I'll let you guys go. I apologize. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry, to be honest with you. But about the whole going back and forth on who he's supporting, because he don't support nobody. So when he says something like that, that should, at least for me anyway, that catches me off guard. Because he don't donate the shit. He don't support other people, to be honest. And if he did, trust me, we'd be on top of it. So that's not a thing. So that was strange. Oh, that was a weird one. That was weird. As it pertains to wanting to know who Iron Chef Sakai is, I'm wondering if he was dealing with chargebacks at this time and he just wasn't telling anybody. Because what good is it for him to have Iron Chef Sakai's information if he wasn't going to dox him or have someone else do it? So I don't know what purpose that serves. And given how much resentment he was displaying, obviously he wanted to dox him or he wanted to do something to him. So I don't understand why you would want to know his personal information. And even if, for some of you who might be saying, oh, well, he was just talking about it in general, he doesn't really mean he wants that person in particular. Just in case you don't know, DSP has a history of doxing his pay-pigs. So, not all of them, but some of them. So he didn't do that for no reason. He didn't do that because it was a generalized thing. He had a reason behind that. So, anywho, that's a thing there. I wish I could actually find it. It was, I want to tell you, this was back in like 2018, 2019. Some of you might remember this. This was when DSP was still on Streamlabs. Pretty sure he was on Streamlabs. DSP had some type of issue with his donations or whatever. I can't remember what it was now. But he tweeted, he was on Twitter and he tweeted at Streamlabs, "Hey, I'm having an issue with that, with this situation with my donations or with pop-ups or whatever." And he doxed a bunch of full names of some of his donators, and whatnot. He had in a screenshot that he had he had tweeted at Streamlabs on. I know I have that screenshot somewhere, and I know it's on the farms. I know it's on the farms because the farms are all over that shit. Proper might have it. James the Lesser might have it. Someone who's around at that time may still have it. They may have it readily available, I should say. But I remember when he did that shit. Pretty sure it was Streamlabs. It could have been Stream Elements because he got kicked off both. But I'm pretty sure it was Streamlabs. I thought that was fantastic when he did that shit because it shows you the lack of self-awareness and really how much he doesn't give a fuck about people. He doesn't give a shit about people, and that shit really reigns in a lot of this. What I'm pointing out here with DSP is going to ring true when we get into this Comics Gate shit and whatnot. I'm not sure if I'll have it. I'll be ready by the end of the year, if not next, in 2026. But we will get into that. And yeah, you're going to see not just Ethan Van Skyler, but some of the other guys, John Malin and some of the other cats over there, Shane Davis, and as well as others, Mandy Summers. They're grimy people. Oh boy, I have such wonders to show y'all. I have such wonders to show y'all. And then I think some of you guys are actually accustomed to Comics Gate too, so I may be able to actually get y'all, see if I can get some of y'all on. Maybe you guys can give some further feedback because it's all welcome. Anywho, that's another thing for another day. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening in. I very much appreciate it. I'll catch you guys for the next one of these, whenever that may be, hopefully sooner than later. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Snort Report. This has been DSP News. Always late, never breaking, unreliable coverage that you can't count on. Oh yes! A GTG Network and Productions. For Tim Snortons, for SnortBucks Coffee Company, for Heart Snorts Gin and Tonic, and for all of our other subsidiaries and affiliates, I've been your host / anchor GTG, and I'm signing off. Take care of yourselves, my people. Holy shit. Take care of yourselves, my people. Oh my gosh. Never give a lol cow a dime. Ever. They'll never appreciate it. Ever. Later, people.